So guys, the other day I made a video talking about my ideal launch situation for Star Wars Battlefront 3, and in that I spoke about the fact that I had an idea as to how online Galactic Conquest could work, so that is what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Getting straight into it though, this is not going to be how the original Galactic Conquest works, because in an online situation that is just not feasible, especially if you had 20 odd maps or something, or even just 15. You could be stuck there for hours upon hours, and in like a 1v1 online setting against some random person, that would just not work. If it was something that you could save locally to your device and then invite a friend on a different platform to or something, maybe that could work, I don't really know, but in a traditional online setting, it just would not be feasible. What you could do, however, is something a bit more community orientated, and Helldivers 2 is actually a really big inspiration for this idea. So if you're not familiar with Helldivers 2, the in-game map is just a map of the entire galaxy, which is split up into loads of different sectors, and each sector has a number of planets. Now this sector could be under enemy control or under friendly control. If it's friendly control, then enemies might be attacking planets and you have to go and fight on those planets to defend it by completing missions and extracting, and that will then put the percentage up. Vice versa, if it's an enemy controlled area, you will attack that planet to try and regain control again by completing missions and completing all these things. So once that percentage gets to 100 in an enemy area, you would then occupy the planet, and if you occupy all of the planets, then you regain the sector. Now that to me seems a hell of a lot like Galactic Conquest. I mean, the name itself is literally taking over the galaxy, which is essentially what you try and do in Helldivers, but in a managed democracy way. But the way you could spin that into Star Wars Battlefront 3 and the community, and potentially even looking at seasons, you could have it so that Season 1 of Battlefront 3 launches maybe a month or so after the game releases, which is when the first Galactic Conquest event takes place. And this could be done in the prequel trilogy era, so that throughout Season 1, you and the community are essentially in a bit of a tug-of-war match between each other to occupy the prequel trilogy maps. So let's say you have Kamino, Naboo, Geonosis, Mustafar, and Kashyyyk. You could start off with Geonosis as the home planet for the Separatists, Kamino as the home planet for the Republic, and then the other three planets are neutral, so they're 50-50. We as the community then could choose which faction we want to align ourselves with. I think most people probably would align themselves with the Republic, so they'd have to sort of look at it from a proportion scale, but what this could essentially then mean is that throughout the season we have to fight on these planets against each other. From a matchmaking perspective, even if you choose the Republic, you could still potentially fight as the Separatists, but if you win, it counts as a Republic win maybe. Again, just purely based on a matchmaking perspective, that would be the easiest thing to do, but I just think that would be really fun as a tug-of-war community event throughout a season. I feel like that's something the community would get really stuck into. There could be silly little arguments and debates about which side is better, or rally the troops on a Saturday to try and reclaim Kamino as the Republic or something. I think it'd be so fun, and I think it could work really well. And then at the end of a season, the winning faction essentially gets rewarded. I think the losing faction should still get a reward as well, but maybe less so. If there's in-game credits to buy cosmetics and things, then the winning faction should get more than the losing one. But maybe if there's avatars or some kind of cosmetic to show, or like a calling card, maybe the winning side gets a calling card that shows the faction they were on, says maybe what season it was, and shows that they were their winning faction in that season. And the losing faction maybe should also get a calling card, but it's less impressive. Obviously still says it's season 1, but says they lost or something, or doesn't have some kind of special effect to show that they were the losing side or anything. I think there's a lot of potential in something like this, and I think it would probably require a lot of testing, but I personally love this idea. I think it was a big part in the success of Helldivers 2 as well, the fact that the community had to work together to save these planets. Everyone was getting on socials and trying to rally together to fight and take over the planets or defend them, or if there was an option between choosing whether we get a new weapon or a new vehicle to add to our arsenal, the community would essentially choose and would really focus on those things. So if we do get a Battlefront 3, I would love to see Galactic Conquest done in this way online in a community seasonal event. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this, because I know this isn't really something that a lot of you may have thought. You might want Galactic Conquest in the traditional sense, but again, it just realistically would not work. That is it from me though, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.